Mame fa say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de o se dem yopo.
Eti na mamwo nkomo nyina no. Ye wo ho akwanya se baby a obo no ho mode no. Ye ka che se wo bo ho mode wa. Ye ho akwanya ka che se aha de ye twe adwene si so. Se wo boa na se nka utimi hihye ha ne yi a ensusu ye anka beboa. Se na nipa dodo na ye de eka ebi ne se ebesi nne. The issue about even a defense minister. Another question mark hanging. The anymane that rivalry and competition amongst cabinet ministers. The anymane say a lands and natural resources pape all co-regulate mining issues. You see me NDC mebrubiso atiejina no more block the anymane no. The man say kaka and the post my way no farmer we on no NDC and the man no the man say church in conconsa misrepresenting people, blackmailing people, maligning people, gossiping at workplaces. The man no. These attributes and characters, it doesn't build a country, it doesn't build a party, it doesn't build a family, it doesn't build a constituency. A negative spirit, bad spirit. Yesremo, kasa bebrebe no nyina no ko wie se. Ye wo manpayin na so afode na pamfo. Ye ntimi ntenasi biem after 69 years. E ma bribia da. Ye mfa 6 and Kodane 9. We will have to. The tool we have is to Ghanaians because, Mr. President, your assemblies in the nation, but they are becoming more weaker. These assemblies, the majority of them, as well as our regional ministers.
And ironically, this is the time and so a lot of funds.
Yes.
So you sometimes wonder.
The last time I checked, not local government minister, no. Second
Takra.
Okay, bold announcement say emphasodiere sika abba assemblies this time aban bia ni wa.
Yes. Unless sika it is announced by Nkodie. But as far as we know, MPs maybe are confirming say sika ne assemblies now. I know say there is a spending guideline spending says but there should be something to show for the increased funding a core assemblies and I think the supervising regional ministers should up their game and let's see some different the assemblies should step up. They should step up. They should step up.
Assemblies in Messeremo and you Frank ni mona wo ka se bi no kra na ade no minim de ntia wo chichire papa so you disagree say ka say NPP NDC. There's no third force in this country as we speak now. Why should it be NPP and NDC all the time? Maybe who person to party brabete we say Ghana for be show mudia. There's no third force in this country.
For the foreseeable future. Yes. It is either the NDC or the NPP. We don't have to debate.
Here say ubetuma tufu no susu say enipa enya kwanya in both parties in Ghana. Omonye patriotic enough.
Yes.
But I can say that there is no third force. I bet me out with the new Patriotic Party and the NDC.
Not in the next 30 years.
I am quiet because in the year prince only be able to to media amount every year. For no credit, for kukudro, for nyamisro, for minor door, for boom minor magana for who say. Because Obi, apart from that day, Obi biara before and then car to Austin. And your car bar redu. Metia de be about large hoodiaya. There are people who are distinguished in politics. Very distinguished personalities, a lot of them, both in the parties NDC and NPP. It can't add the year to be quite still Ghana Yana Madebros Aditya. I didn't go on no go here. Ni soon in the banning in the year, every public officer who knows some crack on more adding. But they manage themselves extremely well. Obe manyo semwa, unya kakayu. Unya unabobrimu. Oya kwa. Oh. Otro otise PAV answer. Otro papa. Otro me edisu ni esonko. Ye nisu o. Obi ye nisu. Who the hell brought for otro? Ye nisu. Are you saying that onimpa onim?
But awards is almost a hard.
And award no cry. Obaso Chelsea President Code of Conduct and said well, he's defining the relevance and essence of a public office holder under this regime and all other regimes. It's true. We respect that. But he should be bold enough to also point out a lot of the ministers, whether regional, whether MMDC, whether the Director General, whether Cabinet Minister, a lot of them. One may issue an earlier warning that President says that all ministers should concentrate on the job and stop the presidential one. But can you do anything?
Oh, so be bien.
Hey, minioni. DNC.
No, can
we do papa? It's me for many to so. Many about for. Yes, no. No, about for. But can't say me Judy papa. It's me for many to so. DNC. It's me so. My man child about for me. You pay you at to so. Me child. Obi yes in no anu omo hunu se enya se man pay so Kenya no omo hunu se man pay me my asesa omo man pay should take them by surprise.
Yeah, but secretary akase
the conditions
there will be a comprehensive review. That review will form the basis of a reshuffle.
Obi wadarama
now they can one
we are head of department or whatever ECG no now ni mun kwada ye adwuma nyina you were not going to wait for any comprehensive it will be only maybe man pay what you no onim tokro bia na obia de obia ka de obia ye bia ana otufo kaza unti aso kaza mtia kwa de ekoso ba bia we are no some reference or some example it man pay knows it at the right time what comprehensive a lot of the ministers DC for regional ministers a lot of them they are totally out of a package
And I think, as the letter said, when you are performing, achieving measurable impact, the whole Ghana we see you. And when you take some of the now we can't John Janapo, and the fact that when there was a challenge, there was action. There's been some resolution to some extent. When you take somebody like Eric Ejay, you can measurably see, but at least yes, at least there is something at Ekoso. A lot of the appointment, when you take Sami Jemfi, President Ankaza Krabonabaso say he has anchored the economy. And you can see when the work is happening, you don't have to chase. And President Parker said, there are some awards that have credibility. It doesn't also mean say award be anya papa wo. CIMG is credible.
GJ Awards.
Ghana Journalists Association credible. The Ghana CEO Summit credible because a awards are penyi ankasa kobi. And for those awards, with approval from the presidency, you can go for them. But any award be a spring up a dimbi na omone nam clout to somebody pesca.
No, that.
You jump over yourself going for
Addo TV. Why is it go for busy? When I almost say himself. I'm the dinner judge. Mediate. Award no. We don't judge. That's how what mama what do you be best newscaster for the wow papa. Now go for free. I am in Thomas grow. Best drive time presenter. No, edina ya bon wa uzi ejeje wa kuma.
Yeah. Nipa go be ampontini.
Just say I shock me see. Omo me ma award na tell me coach school am go kan brofo I put it on the table. Ejeje wo me team no akoma mu. Me fi masa hwe me nim so hwe n'ani. Brofo wa ka ko I put it on the table. Hey. What did you blame Makapute?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Move on,
NPR was it?
Na no crepa say NPR reform come out obedi no so no. But we also only more accommodate 3 months.
Yeah,
very important. They me kind of say am for giddy power me chiao. Enti am for say dey. E ho say obi ba no krenie Ghana our motherland. Any baby akọ sometimes no madam my betra na edi enkomo na nya say ya ebia ho no my any baby afa. Ebesi na blaster enim sika coach koji. Ebesi na enim sika coach edge. We so akoya buomu ade. Ebesi na yenim. Eti se ya twetwe nipa adwene sisa nkomo so a. Mesramo ti se de ye ka no. E free na ekọ road minister. Met me susu ama o say se insuo hurupa etopa na huru ye kwan gu basa sadia contractor for ahodo ayemom contract no especially big push in sanko for old Mr. Mr. o consultants no gusu a omo hwa amaye no ma yeah so be ebedi troche Ghana from YouTube become me punish.
Yeah, it's true.
Me punish.
But we have to get to that
because you nisika
and yes adia be answer.
Yes. Yes.
Technocrats ne pesa adia no mo se
yes de bia da ho omo mpaboa dodo aso God nko oboa de bia omo mpaboa aso God de bia omo mpaboa aso God oh please
weekends no mu twi
wo de ko weekends ayi ase na kokofo dia ko sa sport no abasi ko he do mo de kokon de bia office no kimprin ko ane aso God de bia kimprin na chichire pam
Casper
send ka bi anim wọ́n ṣe force for ọ̀họ́ paa ministry sáwọ́dọ̀ yìí náà wọ́n ṣe ọmọ tó ń pa bọ́ ní chairs ọmọ wọ̀ paa maame kyia lọ́yà pẹ̀yìn sí ọ̀kyia o lọ́yà mu akwanta sí ọ̀kyia o ọ̀sẹ̀ òkúkú seku.
wei sɛ obi nana yɛ akyɛmpem gyantoa
nana yɛ akuribo
obi Omahini is being one-sided. And I believe my brother Omahini should congratulate the president for trying to bring sanity into governance. Okay, I want to believe it's in reference to Callisto's letter.
Yeah.
But I think don't get Omahini wrong. Omahini didn't say the letter is not timely.
Very, very timely.
But the point is and what's the math? The crisis management need too much. Some timely. Of the things we can preempt and deal with, you know. Now, especially when
say bujanso no ankasa ye ka PU as one sema bujanso oda anaju de som nyana or frekacho how they are finding difficulty in breaking through wo de bujanso oda oba be sia wo ukoka electricity ni nsuo wasem and that day no phone you ready say education bill here bia no baby o ma pria kodu challenges o nyina obe pia ni nyina dia ba
it's true
tina na ya to mesrew president pay oda ona wanya nipa dodo na mu gidi especially you. Oh, you can't mean rate to a bow Juma. Bet mama 100+1. A bad radio soon commodia. It will be a phone. Miss Minumadro, be an Minumadro, Macumana, Oriana.
Like a crowd, Bendy and Norma, Charlie. But I put it to you on the table.
Put it to you,
baby. I think Kwekubua in Sochia.
Oh,
diplomat Kwekubua.
Diplomat,
all the way from Brussels in Belgium. Kwekubua, that's Eric J. said, Andy can come 8 years. Or say Obi, the president must breathe life into his code of conduct by cracking the whip. Senior journalist and
so what I say because my doctor Tro bibia da na ma flout to na doctor Tro no gusu flout to na doctor Tro afi wanya careful
yes
doctor tumia e wono say otra ne hu be hu no na ba na eden e ba form ba na ba form ni ministers bebre da na omko land man kan cho say papa bi fa mic no na semi hi o kai nyina ne say TikTok ni ayiye ni eye parties no adults do the impression they are creating is that omo ye adwuma na omo chili and omo chili kwa koso chili TikTok ministers mun koso chili
say unim isa money
penyu pa central
say Neymar Jr. is 34 years old. Lionel Messi is 38 years old. Cristiano Ronaldo is 41 years old. Andre Ayew is 36.
And the normal ideal we are seeing. You better you need that so. Anyone do na sisa. And this one is also adjusted. Onyema be bria oye. Anyone sisa. And you must even the Ghana we came to meet. Say, Papa no more catch a Ghana on 2 years. Now you catch a Magana, you bet 2 years. Now your man so catch or Mummas Ghana. Ubu say at every point, there are significant changes in our system.
Either for the better or for the
worse. So what I say, and Mestre, Adia Debia Dame Kai Pie, Yame, Emma Dihia, Parnese, and phone Yamia Seda, Indida. Odi enkohwe once na ho bufu nkobiri ukunu enkohwe say bia asofu bi no ma de da bi enye ne ho asem ne meka odi enfo nyame aseda endida uwi a oman bi a ufrim ni kura ufrim bia no hunu sa na montu bi a utukasa bi a woka ayi tumi bi a de ahye wonse bia no enmonyam hye no Ghana oman a ufrim abusunya ufrim ekura ufrim ayonkofo ansa na aba no yire no maso when you have these virtues Biribia da utu anamo kasa de uye bian oni ye bian it points to one fact.
Yes.
We can describe you and your character as an honest person, a patriotic person, a loving person, and a man who really feared God.
Sure.
Lyrics. Yeah.
Say onward Christian soldiers.
Yeah.
Marching us to war with the cross of Jesus going on before. Christ, the royal master, leads against the foe.
That's it.
Forward into battle. See his banner go.
Yeah.
Now, if with the refrain, which is chorus, not to us, so onward Christian soldiers marching us to war.
So what I only want to say, and Jobna abone tofa and the amame. Timese sa kwantu na eye okun papa kwantu because at the end day abotiri de beboy no e ni munyama botiri enkwada botiri se sa de ne yepese enya nsunsuanso wo oman a yetima de bi adameka. That's why we be kasetema the word say the end am say we've come to agree to say annual ritual I be celebrate.
Yes.
That's what we've all come to agree because one local assemblies omo number am I paying for me to me juma the money man jet na me na de man nyame na oje or will come back and make sure say e ba be sort to kwan way out the feel busy and sad you know they toss me answer ye need jack for political solutions ye permanent solution ti asemba kiki wa be follow victim to the law no follow was he dan na say ensiaga until we come to that understanding that the deception we've given ourselves, the avoidable partisan and permanent solutions, the propaganda bit of what we do, not even in our body politics, in everything that we do. Abnormal, oh my God. The damage. Yeah, cause damage and the damage these disasters no at the brain avoidable no. So because I'm asking myself, if you are going to Besiako a abokubia, me share shops at toy ammonia, chili padlocks, and cement in Suna men a moment in ya in Suna force at my pim in Yanako Sum at Checo. I'm saying, how do they recover? So if Omane baby I do know. It's going to be the usual talk shop. And a tema flooded, and a global flooded, and a East Legon, you with that. In Viber, you are sending into the end. Because, Cecilia, come on, who is to blame? A young Cassa. Yeah, contributed to a fear a choku got and said a bastard boys in Mecano. Now, yes, I contributed to an illegality of who see the baby, assembly near Shahain say, because no, see. Who the kiosk you see, baby, assembly near say, no show. It is until those basics near Timia Tiasia, a real boy, Kosho Mama Hatomino was a fantabun in Yan and Chelsea. Almost at the same place. The same place.
That's why, in as much as I agreed with your president or Kasaba, the flooding situation or London, I think the president spent all the time telling us what the problem is. Baby Accra located Accra will be passed here in Sueba Accra and yes that one we already know.
Okay.
I don't think the Ghanaian people queued in the sun to vote for a leader of this country to come and tell us what the problems are. We already know all of the problems. And also they should not join say Omanfo ni subai na enye papa Omanfo na etunwura gu we mu. You are not giving executive power to lament. You are not giving executive power to tell the people what the problems are. We all platform way for education, for information, for entertainment. No, our job is to regularly educate the people, conscientize them to do the right things.
Okay.
The job of Omuaya Tuaba Amawono is to make sure they enforce and implement laws.
But that's right.
Crack the whip where they have to.
We are not cracking.
It is not enough for the president to tell us what the problems are.
We can't crack it. I'm saying that we cannot crack it. How well have we cracked that whip now? Yakasa about illegal mining. How well have we cracked it?
Yeah,
we
but
can't
that
crack
is where the problem.
We can't crack it.
And I know on Mampenyi Kasano, I saw people saying, "Say, oh, the president is on top of issues. Where Timia Kasemni, Wamaya who problem." That is not what we need.
And that is the danger, Pacho.
That's what the problem is.
That is the danger. The sycophants and fair weather friends. No, unim da say. Enkra highway, unim da.
We all know that.
That's the challenge. And you say, Peer President, Yodium. Not the other president, he made the same speech about these challenges that we have. And you him. Baby, I do know. Baby, I am flooded, You want to hold the president to ransom. Now, Bonabasu sa president, he says, Dipano on the many here. Why name him? Bobby Namikacho, we have an ineffective assembly. Yes. When you go closer to the assembly, they'll tell you the challenge they have.
Sure.
Because on mine will be Bia. Do you know who I am? Bibia, unim nipa me. We are married parties here. Unim nipa me. We are married parties here. The assemblies here were a dormant assembly. Then the assemblies in man baby and papa yajme. Me from papa crazy. Debbie and newspaper.
Land use and special planning authority.
And then even new places are yet to take run. Chadukra.
The whole place is messed up.
Yes, so
I cringe when I hear an MC, a DC come out to say, oh, and I had the assassin or form, and in certain
no.
and on my phone is so much.
That typical road I'm going to the mouth. From Aboba police station, Ekosi Abokobi Junction. Containers sit down structures out there, most of them are waterlogged areas. Bibia most of them 90% waterlogged areas. And then so a cheer for a cars but the assemblies they drive through every time, they look unconcerned.
Yes. Because they would have an easy excuse. That easy excuse and a macano. Ya wakasa bia ya ti radios na waso amoma yeka.
Yeah.
Sa man phones so musu. It is our job.
Assemblies to implement.
We will do it.
The assemblies to implement.
The DC, the president, the minister, no. You cannot come and tell us a man phone is subai and Accra baby that the president can't. Listen to the statement issued by the ministry responsible to deal with floods. Immediate release, 6th June 2026. Government sympathizes with flood victims and reaffirms commitment to addressing perennial flooding. And looking for me, every year the same profile. Or say,
readdressed.
Following recent bout of heavy rain in Accra and part of the country, the ministry has been closely monitoring the situation and remain deeply concerned about the impact of widespread flooding, especially in low-lying and flood-prone areas, causing damage to homes, businesses, public infrastructure, and disrupting economic and social activities. On behalf of His Excellency the President of the Government of Ghana and the Government of Ghana, I extend my deepest sympathy to all individuals, families, and communities affected by the recent flooding incident in Accra and several parts of the country following the heavy rains recorded over the past few days. To those who have lost valuable possessions, homes, livelihoods, and personal property, we recognize the emotional, social, and economic toll these events have imposed on families and communities and wish to assure the government remains committed to supporting recovery efforts. The recent floods once again underscore the urgent need for collective action to address the long-standing challenge of flooding where works and housing in our cities and communities. Collective action. I don't know what where Ministry of Works, Ministry of Works, Housing and Water Resources.
Oh, come on.
Collective. I say while climate change and the increasing intensity of rainfall continue to place enormous pressure on urban infrastructure, human activities remain a significant contributor to the severity of flooding across the country. As His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama rightly observed at a recent town hall meeting in London, Ghana's flooding challenge is largely exacerbated by indiscipline in human settlement and environmental management. The President noted that the indiscriminate disposal of waste into drains and water courses the unauthorized construction of buildings on waterways and wetlands, and the failure to comply with planning regulations continue to obstruct the natural flow of water and increase the risk of flood. Everybody knows this. We do not need the president to tell us.
That's why Mibusa say, is it from the ministry?
Yeah, we're a ministry. They are rehashing what the president
and that's another helpless situation.
Yes, but it's not as if say human activities that causes at the end to mean your home baby.
And to win or see any
almost say these observations reflect a reality that confronts many communities across the country. Encroachment on water retention areas, poor drainage maintenance, unregulated development, and inadequate enforcement of planning and sanitation bylaws have collectively worsened the impact of seasonal rains, particularly in rapidly urbanizing areas such as Accra. We already know this data. Government therefore wishes to emphasize that our cities do not lack laws or engineering expertise. What it lacks is the collective discipline. What does that mean? And will of all key stakeholders to enforce laws that already exist. Addressing the flooding menace requires a shared responsibility between public institutions, local authorities, traditional leaders, and all citizens. Sustainable solutions can only be achieved when communities actively support efforts to protect waterways.
No, we are game I can't
even believe it.
Because we did.
Where almost in response to the current situation, the ministry, through the Ghana Hydrological Authority, in collaboration with the National Disaster Management Organization, MMDAs, the security services, and other relevant agencies have activated a series of immediate interventions and emergency response measures in affected areas.
JDK, Obi, the ministry is not on top because
these
get it in the constant. Oh, please.
These include the deployment of emergency response teams to affected communities, provision of relief items to displaced households, assessment of damaged infrastructure, and intensified desilting and drainage maintenance activities in critical flood prone in Suena area.
At this point there.
The ministry is also undertaking ongoing measures aimed at reducing flood risks across the country. These include accelerated drainage improvement projects, including the desilting and clearing of major drains, channels and culverts, rehabilitation and expansion. Over the long term, the ministry, through the relevant institutions, commits to implementing a comprehensive and sustainable flood management strategy. Where's the housing ministry there? I think we should grow as a people beyond the politics of optics. So optical politics now. And I started one another another brofo or camp brofo, President Muhammad Yonim Kasa or a communicator. Anyway, those things have proven to be hugely ineffective. And we should grow away from that. Say, Omanpenyi, Akasa, ye wetimi a problem.
I don't know how people
everybody knows. And that's not what we need from our elected officials.
So Mr.
Their job is not to advise
if this is what the Ministry of Works and Housing at this critical point.
A complete brofo no mature good paper.
Say, Adeno. Honestly, Obi, Ajimi Semo,
because you could see clearly, before you say June in Sio Eto.
That is where I was coming to.
Before June,
especially in this case, the Metro for Kraka ensure better to you know, and they started on matters of climate change, knowing very well that it will happen. Knowing very well.
Really?
So, Mr. Ebasa, now you know, that's what I'm saying. We don't have any reliable assembly, local assembly again. Very ineffective assemblies in Kwan. Assemblies are filled with partisanship. Take decision only partisan decisions in Kwan. So that's the challenge we have. Because assemblies one man come if we have a very effective, efficient assemblies, I'm even the ministry, the mother body. Yes. But what do we see?
And let me say,
what do we see?
This fear now, a war Ghanaian politicians who say Basse Omu take bold decisions. Or man for na be complain, and that's why I have been in principle against say demolition o baby na mame for and oh hani edidi and the mabesi de akosku. We vehemently taking a position against that. Now when I did today
because the politician is thinking of 2028 more than or making sure say the country will live well.
Yes.
So the politician is always thinking of an election than what the country needs to do right. It's Yaboni who say no on that crown because 2028 the party for the if we don't correct the wrongs that we keep doing that's a building.
We will not do that. Especially in impasse baby a dynasty in your dying papa who support you to pull all those houses down. We have to, because if we don't get and Ghana for us to NTA when because we don't have executive power. Ghana for NTA. For every country to develop, we have to make sacrifices.
Every country.
Yes.
Every country.
We have to make sacrifices. I mean, this thing where you feel say we can eat our cake and have it, no, it cannot continue to not give us the development we need.
Well, we are all cowards and hypocrites. Our leaders know our challenges already. They dance around it. Mass wealth. No, that's what they do. They milk us, but woe unto them. There's coming a time, very soon. Said Omusi who Ghana addition, and yes, I don't know. Because I say, Matra Maquesa will be about no massive world no co, will be about massive world no co, will be about massive world no codia. At the expense of the country, dangerous for us.
Yes.
At the expense of the country, very dangerous for us. And then no money here, ya quiet say, papa. And also, Ufi, your hospitals, as is seen to about, and also Ufi. Ya this year say so boy na pejemu aba for manya papa eno so wo nti ye call a dan one say baby e dey tiri beto hwema ye eno so wonye these basics so one ya man yosem mokoso bu masugu enuagu masumu a one here na kira asem no akwaya se foforo it dey bia na ye ba besrem kwamenti ase because we gave you that power to sit at your various offices with Ghana a emblem around you and authority around you. Knowing very well, say, Yama GDA strong, say, Yama 2 million strong, say, your GDA will say, Ubetimia to Anamua, a sefata. But if we have people writing this, and I was assemblyman for me Lanquantan, I say MCs Lanquantan, Gaiz, Omoninam, Omoshishan Tadia, can say that I'm up and down, Bassa.
Optical way, they don't know the power they have.
For the cameras.
Maybe your man, young quiet MC that soon come.
Bibia for the cameras.
Maybe a MC that we don't understand on peculiar challenges.
For the cameras.
The assemblies. I mean, president appointing it to me at the mama. With the regional minister who supervises more activities. Our assemblies are completely useless. Completely.
They are ineffective.
So ineffective.
Very ineffective. Me with that conversation around the you better about by base because man you're born chaskilling. You're born chaskilling. There's so much heat in this system now. You're born chaskilling. Now the a funny incident at Selma Dweji. I look at the videos and say NPP school dance wapa Okoboso MCs mean tiase Emma Moso. Then I actually mammy no more kohun tokwa na nipa die we echi. Me tiase bo. I'm telling me, I'm surprised because we've even got to a point. Yama position in this country. I don't know whether our security, intelligence, enough checks on these people they appoint.
They do.
Please, any OB, and the proper investigation, and then the right authorities. Most of these people who get public office to ban, I will be there. So proper checks are done on them. Majority of them, their conduct alone. Public office, reducing it to clear. I can't drama It's been tiasie. No ma bebre one ma. And then me decide say, "Ja make no na ma fe Ghana for ya no me because wo di aman yourself for echi a." O 2 minutes come na sante ne ya o ye no. Say nam ne kwanso ne mrabo abra. Wo si dan asi baabi ansuo fa.
Yes.
And no be say be charge us ache my dey.
Because
be trust ajo no ache be say menye dey.
Dwantoa hene for so.
Enye ne dwantoa enu ho. And they are a part of us. But the fact that Mafum Obi na Obi akudwa to Addo meknoba no, it doesn't mean I cannot punish Obi. Me jumfum so na wo si why any tum there. But asutwe bia Obi ano. My best can be say bia 4 months say me ma Addo. Ebi am say wakoye dwantoa seba bem na enuhu mapa bem no. Be say control half for 2 months be. It doesn't mean that you're going scot free. But what do we see? What do we see? Nijek nkwao ana de adwuma Nijek na camera see de sisa na de namusom tutura na say ye de won't put in namusom na bia ba kama bia waste level na ye for na camera see wo wanya bre e ni perfect so ma after be grant interview wanya bre say ampa sanya ahwehwanim na wo ye ana nipa wo akwa atiti we mu nipa ebinim abu mmra so di dwuma eno how na ba ye interviews or twa picture me who say president na be say oh Asumasi and that's maintain is really working, but you're not doing anything. You're pleasing yourself. You're pleasing yourself. There's no coordination. There's no authority. There's no direction. There's no focus. And the public office holder, as the idea gurubisa. Na IBB on when they are looking for power, they come to us. One said to me, I pray to me. One said to me, free your hope. They don't have the power. They come begging. Why is it that when they have power, they change and we cannot talk about it? Why? When they want power, they come to us. A drum, baby, a fear be a share, our Ghana, on the call. Or a binimu boom kotoje, a binimu su, a binimu titi, a binimu diampese, a binimu near non pure water. When they get the power, ask yourself, why are they doing this to us? Maybe just here. Ote damango, Ote Kenya say, Tokrobia Ushembiano about Tobreswa. You find the politician there begging you virtually to believe in him or her to grant them that needed power to change the tides of this country. Onya wiepe no be chirichirim. Onya wiepe no be kasem foforo. Onya wiepe no si there be sa asem na mekan no nchiremu de na me pa che na okra won ti ase na we kra ho de no timi ye na de na otimi kan ni enya party chitai for gusu ye reference. In this case NPP ni hobiem nyoma NPP ye ya ensem fata
Ghana for pound
ye gina so di sumo mu kotu dichi mu if I want sumo kwa no ye sumo mu mo nim nyina prepare twitwa who does so the NPP
you do the same and refer to them. You can't even believe
who does so the NPP 1.5 years. What does the MPP? Measurement. NPP no honum na najube 9:30 aban weka onya kan ko fie. So obeduma the following day 6:30. Where is the MPP now? Where is the MPP now? Iti yaka ade ba ko ne ye pre on mine be ye especially under a president who all believe that a legacy. Exactly. We have referenced this term as a legacy term.
But I don't know,
reference it.
Me catch na ya janto wa ha say this flooding in Komo Ayedi. If there is one president obetimi aboa ya me ya solve it once and for all. It is President Mahama for 2 reasons. Number 1, and it's he has a legacy term. On konko siki re-election bill. And for him, it doesn't matter whose ox is God. Obetimi aye de wo se oye bia wo ka hwe kra mfa ne ho because on sign ma me se wo se kwato abama ne bio eno your number 1. Number 2, oman menkai etiefo yawo June 3rd 2015 President Mahama was president of the Republic. The esi ene yanim sem ye nyina yanim. A committee was set up. That committee issued a comprehensive report. That report, now I don't know what the NPP in 8 years did with that report, but at least President Mahama is back in power. That report is still there. And we shouldn't even be talking of another disastrous flooding bill under a John Mahama term. And I think for these 2 reasons, President Mahama should help us. But you maybe another NPP administration will be say President will be banned. 2 terms on maybe. But President Mahama just this term. We are on Kobio. Say was so good down obetimebu and was so a demolition now. It can be done. And say if we miss this opportunity, it's gone.
That is why continuously we have advocated for a reshuffle in the president's ministers.
Maybe
that advocacy,
maybe
until we get to that point, most of these ministers, director generals, and chief executives, they've taken Ghana for a ride. And I keep saying this.
Yes.
I remember very well Sameka and Addo, in all humility, our former president. Say, Nana, if your party people in parliament have started that reshuffle, we've all added our voice to it. In fact, you clear some of your ministers, it will cost you. Among the reasons, and I've reminded His Excellency, who is a legacy president, that this time not his person, but his party. It is here keeping reminding people of what they are supposed to do. The Ayanias ye come assembly say, and NDC na NDC na awu nipa omu ewo edi o mine ni. O mine no so nya NDC dia. O mine ye Ghana fo nyina ye dia. Nti eba mo party sema ye ka kodu baabi a ye jai. Ba eba o mine no ho nkomodi a ye wo ho kwan say ye ka kopem say ye gidi say enipa dodo na hu say ensachrai kesi aba. His Excellency John Dramani Mama is not a property of the NDC alone. Wabe Ghana property. Iti misebebre ye ka bebre de echenya nse onyame ye wadum na onya Ghana fo anim adum na onya mampani ani adum na ye de eye post kakra bi ma wa jamranto asem no
Aman unim say there is the health ministry issue we are na afe ministers award ne say ba ansa no obi send me video bi mengas me pacho boa me we me mate ewo Legon na me ni na wo Commonwealth Hall na ohun bibi anopay HR video the SND mengas sa abobo ya afo no video fato so emayen na obia enhu obi please see the video above. I just took it from Regent University towards Malam Junction. The baller tricycles have taken over the entire outer lane from the EU China Mall all the way to McCarthy Hills Junction. That's the Wager Municipal Hospital. In the way, on Sabobo halfway. Omudi traffic mube
no, be ready.
Every morning,
now because we want him. We cry and shoot us and for the next 4 months. Come on for them be disposed of through Abubu Yade. But the way, former Greater Accra Minister and the Prefect Administration, former Interior Minister, ever can watch them say, Sandy, my woman and fly and open. It will no more quaint. I'm call baby, I'm a year in a dump side of the Kogu. I take a good no. I'm going to take yeah.
Now, I mean,
no, we.
Rush hour,
Debbie.
I don't think anywhere. Maybe say
sometimes in the morning, I have a modiano, Nafala Paz, a year bola casa, Dodonano, Omonamwa, and nobody be a who for baby and Semfata.
We above 500.
You are not getting me, and I'm saying, the meet Mamma, a cost in Shuna. Asa to amount for a disposal of. Now, do na so shegu kwem.
This is terrible.
Do na she. In fact, the who say I am machi kwa mo kanso mo kwa. Do na be shegu kwem.
No, ma
no. Amani regulated o. Obi di boni kwa na ehu bi ani ho sa o. They say game pa bypass o nyina dane bola. Ahimachi sa o ba adwuma. Amanfo form no ma be hwegu ho. Ebi fa free. Strangely, private cars na chichi no ma o bolem. No do no matwagum twa.
What the window about
exactly pa no atwagro. Game pa bypass in the bola. E the bola. Enti no mo man no minim say ye sa na fi say nyoma na ye no e kwa Azerbaijan. Enti automatically in Ghana they be so clear and clean. Menti ase. Enti be bia ye bia it's not regulated.
This thing in Kwade, it's even an eyesore. Ferry. But this is so bad.
Obi, I'm trying to just say the implication in terms of health. And not the encounter what's some crowd.
The traffic just guys, every month.
In terms of health.
Traffic, not
yes, in terms of health. And not the encounter crowd.
When YouTube never video.
Where are they?
It's a complete eyesore.
And then you saw, but on the akusi. That is Omaya, Yachichima. Omano would they make attempt to regulate the front of these people. And Omoni and Koba into Omunia Janini, and the Anquan Apple, we are saying, but Pragiabaji and Sem, Motosa Krabaji and Sem, Wilsu Abaji and Sem, it be beyond the man yourself way. Can't we do something new and something different? Why? Bibia ye biano, ye the amanyo sema frefreni. Because we want votes. We don't want Ghana to develop. Me say the upper moving team my assemblyman be another DC. Say Okoyenwa regulate.
Yeah, but this thing cannot continue, man. When it cannot because airtime and you fair. This is the national capital for crying out.
I'm saying that
and where a major role.
I'm saying national capital the Jaka. Apart from East cantonments, Bebia Flado on Kra. Bebia, I took time to drive through Accra, Tema, 2 days. Apart from East cantonments, Bebia, Ebufaso, Bebia, Nachado, Ahiu, Ahifao, Bebia, Ebuafao. Okofufa, Aboko be inside Okra Papa the India. Enyekra. Na, say,
Obi war eho.
Yeah.
Or say Obi, please. This is set. Okay, said Dazi as in passports. Or say the Abobo traffic is still there now, so no car can pass the outer lane. Over 1,000 of them now.
And this one as a result of Mitmaka of a year additional numbers now, but if fear hodua. Amount for a year free mufia or mu dispose of.
But said we almost de coin.
Ya de kote tegu.
Na tetegu no assassin me.
Any assassin be a kotu regu. Any kote tegu. Na we de okay opa. Na say bi watch what ya chiwa. Ya de ko yeko.
Bachelor man we de anya fe o.
Oh, na no man anya fe we bi ni.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Na opposite for crowd dan opposite for dan si wo. Opposite for dan si wo. Wo say 24 na opposite for kontokwa. Opposite for dan si domi. Opposite for that she was a
Idiano to do area.
What was a 24 crowd of Mokotoka? Opposite for no vacated dino. I don't know why rental space. Opposite for no crowd at the why rental space. No man to show my mobility. Men call Crowby. No one wanted their way. Wait. No one. That's why I quite a mob of Makatakatas. Bompire say Uncle Denchi. Then go kwan mo bia ansese biem cars ne be fa so saa chiraw sa na ne kwan na fa aha na obi pa wo kasa ze de unima wey oh the way there na wey no bi na we fi one na say o man ye ko bobo ne ya prepare ti bi ko jina so dem kase ya bom pa e ko din kuri maba can you imagine
as a obeso wonya eyi cassette here
oya
Kofi Adams
wa kwa sa
oko Philadelphia
na waka we na we oh please
I say Ghana your group matches about Philadelphia.
No when money no share quality teams we are the papa go and train and go and win the cup play a team munye team mo ba e mu fa so a say okoko eden
na dey make I want
okoko ye dey
I say Ghana your matches ne ba Philadelphia
and on two players in ankoda way no omo sra omo wusra no omo fa nkobo you know that will be sanema why mama my encourage sanema what is this as if we are the only country God resides in. What is this? And you may hear my team, no. Brazil neba, Argentina ba, Mexico ba, we ba, Obianko da Pope fee. Sa copim 2 days to the match from Ray. Obianko da Pope fee. And not any pay or who content a prayer can boom. Breast cancer, not it sorry fee. Breast cancer. Why? Quiet train na kobo ball as well. Osia koda sorry fee. And uncle Amusie. No question sense or
as a all cancer.
Debbie na Dobi. Yeah, the Sasha quality man. That is why Mabundu don't have a shortcut to success. There's no shortcut. There is no shortcut. Oh, Tom. Who was off a shortcut? A crude means. And also, who's our son? Oh, for some quality, Mr. Unino, a Jumaday no credit. Now for the Yamisono Atareto. Hey, Jumadin, no credit. A honorable court, none of my catcher say, or bread Jumadia, so what I say, but you are working. It will not bless sir, or Jumana as well. You triple it. A Christopher BTA, according to our feel of my born, I say magically. That guy's a hook or two in Cushion 77 and already more than 2 years. I trained purposely for this World Cup.
So what Bompire say
how?
Say free kick better now.
No, magically not I think chimps on them from as motel from a south. They be a Ghana Malam go. Every goal we are scoring Malam go. It's a look at the obi na minim so akọ but no there. Well, that is I don't fault him, but it's not a good thing for because man
it's not something we should encourage.
Yeah, it's not something we should encourage. You know, man clan ko nya oto so as we speak now, even the formation or whatever, a black star ball, whether attacking, whether defense, whether whatever, they didn't plan on the
week now, your boy, friendly match last one. Panama and you on first match. Within 1 week, because the two more friendly matches means yeah, about one pay.
What you all can say crazy.
Players, Jaman Kwan or Mashes, they be no more shit.
She Jamas, Chicho Mupi talk from here. Don't she Jamai? No good Japak is not from Monsieur Shemia. Who blame game about momentum. So you lose your best in them. I mean, bomb by you back cross the group stage. Now you're back within the group stage, yeah. And the president, Mamma, on Sawi, on one in 70, a jab a banner. Sure.
Inti Oman Yanko Ministry of Health.
My we not Yanko Ministry of Health. My who say Dr. Pesa White wakasa on that award.
Yeah. Oh, but I'm kind of article.
No, the message was say,
okay.
I don't want to. I respect him so much.
A true article, a daily graphic, I publish.
I respect him so much. It will be difficult for me to say 7 hours can say it be only na so. But if the respect I have for him, media basis of my judgment, yeah, your problem.
But also on the one way example,
your problem.
Say he was told to pay,
big
and
problem.
I don't think he would want to lie for anything.
But that's what I'm saying. Say what the Giami Ginidi ne krata watchro no me de tutu hu dia na wohwe de wo krata ne mu dia na se saa na ekọ become Ginidi eya ne ye wo haw baby I do no and then ye wo haw pa o. And then how I will expect that the organizers of that show, why money is that show?
Minim company, but I hear say once in a year RTP awards.
Oh, of course, maybe it could be a problem. Hey,
almost one guy.
I think Mackay, yeah,
Mackay. Sure.
Oh, on the way so.
That's what I hear.
Maybe I'm a Fabia, I don't know.
I cannot.
I think that there should be clarity. There should be clarity. No, there should be clarity on my clear because one clear one hangy program now. No.
Yeah.
Yenkutu yankunyaba so body there. GJ president onye weda.
Dabi.
Onye weda. Yenkutu yankunyaba so body onye da. And wonso utua ye pass what tua pa dia. Wonso ese wa. Abaso body we do kwen.
Oh. Na we na so mampanyi be pamo.
Na abaso body we do kwen. Abaso body we pa no even do ko. Because wajuma no so ani a obi
abehu
nya se obi ahu se wajuma no eso ani ewubo adwuma bibia nam ne kwan so eko ze dum so ba ye a eyi era John Jinapo
na the birthday.
Oh, number 6 on one yard.
Oh, John Jinapo PhD.
Doctor,
happy birthday to you, doc.
Doc, birthday dia. And you say me who baby we di lunch and oh you modest go man payaka and I was me go for Shatawale Mra office.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, happy birthday. With what boy I be seeing
me I always maintain say when you do the work
it's
clear award my people will be questioning the award now. Everybody would see, but I think the organizers would have to issue a statement. Let's hear their side of the story.
Very clear.
Because as it stands now, the information from Dr. Pesa White has all but damaged the awards completely.
Oh, really?
They have
GG President Mona Basu.
Yes, I think to a man share picture where it's been a call on social media where or more
cash for
allegedly a J awards. It's all about social media.
Gentleman and awards. Woman clarify because I go awards the crowd.
Oh yes, how they will go awards. That's how they will go awards. And not there. We all share pictures now. Honorable K.C. Lato Force apparently honor G overall. Best minister Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa Eji, the best male minister, the best performing male minister, regional minister best Greater Accra, deputy minister best Dorcas Tofe transport, our very good friend Kwame A+.
Deputy minister, we need a
best deputy minister Dorcas Tofe transport. Best female minister, Eastern Regional Minister. Most hard-working first-time MP, Kwame A+. Best MP, Roxanne Dafiamako, that's the information here. Best female CEO, Ruth Sedo, National Service. Overall best CEO, Professor Ransford Jampo. And promising CEO, Julius Nikwe Kote, DVL a boss. That's the information making rounds. But unfortunately, said your mind here, Akano. Dr. Pesawai tells us he was approached, say, Ontria Sikabi, and a Wentria.
Now, I'm not petitioning the chief of staff. Say, in awards.
I say, on him. It's. I think it's a
petition for investigation and appropriate sanctions against government appointees implicated in the alleged cash for awards scandal. We respectfully write to petition your high office to initiate an immediate investigation into allegations that certain government appointees paid sums ranging between 25,000 and 50,000 Ghana cedi to secure recognition in an award scheme dubbed the 6th Ghana Ministers of State Excellence Awards, which took place on Saturday, June 5, 2026. According to reports circulating in the public domain, the following high-ranking public officials participated and received awards from the organizers. They include Overall Best Performing Minister, Honorable Kessel Atuforsen, Minister of Finance; Best Male Performing Minister, Honorable Emmanuel Amakufibua, Minister of Lands and Natural Resources; Best Regional Minister, Honorable Linda A. Oklu, Greater Accra Regional Minister. It goes on to the last one. According to the Director General of SIGA, Dr. Michael Pesawai, organizers of the event made monetary demands between 25,000 Ghana cedi and 50,000 Ghana cedi per awardee for the awards and public recognition, informing his decision to act. And it goes on to say, just a minute, Obi. It goes on to say, it is our respectful contention that these allegations, if proven to be true, will undermine the integrity of public office, erode confidence in government appointees, and violate the ethical standards expected of public servants. Public office holders are entrusted with the responsibility of serving people with honesty, transparency, and accountability. It goes on and on. In the light of the foregoing, we respectfully request that your office institute an independent investigation into the allegations, direct all affected appointees to cooperate fully with any inquiry, publish the findings of the investigations to ensure transparency and public confidence, impose appropriate administrative or disciplinary sanctions on any appointee found culpable, and establish clear ethical guidelines to prevent similar occurrences in the future. And it's signed K. Kwaku D.A. Techi.
Okay.
Oh, say Obama.
I say Obama Muna Edeko.
Wait, they deal with what you're beating me.
Oh, okay.
D.A. Techi.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I see.
It is.
90 former deputy agriculture minister. Where you are going by the directives of the president. Why are they patronized Batakari?
Time just want to follow. But one thing I also have to add, and say it may also possibly be say Dr. Pesawai was approached with that offer, if it is true. It doesn't necessarily mean say all other awardees may have been.
That is why it is in the interest of the organizers
to also issue that statement. If it's not say somebody won his genuinely, Obi approaching his own baby, and Obi so but
no, at this point, at this point,
he said for validation.
What validation?
It's just somebody is watching.
What checks did they do? The institution or the event organizers before even becoming part of that award?
Yeah, but the awards has been run for the past.
Well, I don't know anything about Ministers' Award. I don't. To the best of my knowledge, every year ending behind Ekusi saying, and the top 5 that credibility of Ekusi saying supersedes. To me, anything about the 6th edition of D&D. It's strange to me. And we are talking about
the allegation from none other than SIGA, the man who is supposed to regulate state-owned enterprise. And you have some state-owned CEOs and so winning some of these awards. And man, a bit serious. Why I think the chief of staff would have to take interest in this. But already, Oman, there is a letter from the office of the president It is signed,
in relation to.
It is signed by the secretary to the president.
Okay.
In relation to awards, asema yeken.
Oh.
Or say.
Okay.
Participation in private award schemes and related events. And the data by 9th
and the 8th.
Okay. It's dated today. And His Excellency the President has noted with concern the increasing trend of ministers of state, chief executive officers of state institutions, and other public officials participating in and accepting awards from various private organizations, purporting to recognize them as, quote, the best performing, unquote, most outstanding, or most influential public office holders. In many instances, the organizations conferring such awards are largely unknown to the public.
Very unknown.
Their credentials are unclear, and no transparent, objective, or verifiable criteria exist for assessing the performance of public officials. Consequently, the proliferation of such awards has the potential to undermine the integrity of public service, create misconceptions regarding government performance assessment, and expose the government to unnecessary public criticism and embarrassment. Public office is a solemn responsibility entrusted to officials by the people of Ghana. Performance in the office cannot be reduced, cannot be measured by privately organized ceremonies,
at all,
self-appointed rating bodies, or commercial award schemes whose methodologies and standards are neither established nor subject to public scrutiny. His Excellency therefore directs that all ministers of state, chief executive officers of state institutions, and other political appointees refrain from participating in, sponsoring, endorsing, attending, or accepting awards from such organizations unless expressly authorized by the office of the president. Government remains focused on delivering on its commitments to the people of Ghana. The true measure of the performance of ministers and chief executive officers is the extent to which they fulfill the policy objectives, programs, and sector-specific targets outlined in the 2024 NDC manifesto, the government's development agenda, and the performance indicators agreed upon with their respective supervising authorities. Accordingly, ministers and chief executive officers are reminded that their performance will be assessed based on tangible outcomes, measurable impact, effective service delivery, prudent management of public resources, and the successful implementation of government policies and programs. His Excellency the President wishes to emphasize that in due course, the presidency will undertake a comprehensive review of the performance of ministers and CEOs. The findings of this review shall constitute a key basis for decisions relating to retention in office, reassignment of responsibilities, and any future cabinet or executive restructuring. Public officials are therefore encouraged to devote their full attention to the execution of their mandate and the delivery of results for the people of Ghana rather than seeking or participating in external recognition schemes of questionable credibility.
Well,
your cooperation in this matter is highly appreciated. Please accept the assurances of the highest consideration of His Excellency, the President of the Republic. Signed, Callistus Mahama, PhD, Secretary to the President, and Odiakoma, all Ministers of State, all CEOs of state-owned enterprises. Well,
it should not come across as if say we're news to him. The President has established code of conduct. Ministers are all over the country.
Sometimes throw
too much.